Many folk assume that if your van, caravan or wagon is your home, the police need a warrant before they can come inside. This is only half the story. Your home does not have legal protection. It does have legal protection, but there are circumstances where Old Bill can enter without a warrant, and the rules are different again when they are dealing with the land around you rather than the place you actually live in. Today we're going to look at when the police can enter your site or home, when they need a warrant, and the question you should always ask if they tell you they're coming in. Living on road, waterways or off-grid in the UK, Dickie Dread. This is part 51 in the video series. We're on chapter 7, police treatment, and today we will cover, can Old Bill enter your site or home? Basically, the law isn't for us, it's built for the state. If you're a traveller or off-gridder, whether you're parked up in a lush green field or tucked away on some roadside pull-up, the Old Bill will always be sniffing around, trying to figure out how to move you on. And even if they're not, you should assume they are. Know your rights, stand your ground, and don't let them walk all over you. Private land. Legally, if you're on private land with the landowner's permission, the coppers have no automatic right to enter your space. Under Section 61 of the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act 1994, police can direct people to leave land if they reasonably believe there are 2 or more people present and that damage, threatening behaviour, or in some cases 6 or more vehicles are involved. In practice, this power is usually linked to alleged damage, disruption or complaints, rather than simply presence alone. If the landowner turns on you, whether by force, threat or a dodgy handshake deal with the coppers, your legal standing weakens fast. If you're on private land without permission, then expect trouble. Under Section 61 of the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act, Old Bill can demand you leave if the landowner requests it, and if you refuse, you're looking at potential arrest and vehicle seizure. The best bet? Keep it peaceful. Know who owns the land and be ready to move on if the heat gets turned up. For off-grid land dwellers, it's important to distinguish between civil trespass, which is a matter between the landowner and occupier, and criminal powers used by police. Many situations begin as civil disputes and only become police matters when specific legal thresholds are crossed. So the thin walls of your home. Now let's talk about your home, whether it's a van, converted bus or a caravan or a full-on horse-drawn wagon. That's your castle, your temple, your sacred space. The law does recognise this to an extent. Under Section 8 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984, the police need a warrant to enter your vehicle dwelling, just like they would need one to bust into a bricks and mortar house. A warrant is often required, but there are important exceptions where police can enter without one, including arrest powers, breach of peace or drug-related searches. But, and this is a big but, if they suspect serious criminal activity, think drugs, stolen goods or public disorder, which can be as vague as them deciding they don't like the look of your gathering, they can use emergency powers to barge in. These powers mainly come from Section 17, the Police and Criminal Evidence Act 1984, and the Misuse of Drugs Act 1971, and they are used more often than many people realise. The key here, don't give them a reason. Keep your area tidy, avoid unnecessary attention, and know the magic words. Do you have a warrant? The Gypsy Roma Traveller Complication. The Police Crime Sentencing and Courts Act 2022 introduced a new offence of residing on land without consent in or with a vehicle. This means that in certain circumstances, even a single vehicle can be directed to leave, and failure to comply can lead to arrest, fines or seizure. The threshold is no longer just about large groups. Impact, complaints and refusal to move now carry more weight in enforcement decisions. Holding the line, your best defence. Know your rights. Read up on the Criminal Justice Act, police powers and any local bylaws before parking up. Stay peaceful. Aggression gives them an excuse. I know it's hard. Stay calm. Record interactions and stand firm but polite. Difficult, I know, especially if you're bladdered, but it really is the best advice. Question everything. If they say they can enter, ask under what power. If they say move on, ask her under what law. Community is strength. Lone wolves get picked off. If you travel in numbers, look after your tribe and be ready to support one another if trouble comes. And I don't mean in a violent way, I mean by knowing the law, etc. Document everything. Video footage can be your best friend in court, and they can't stop you doing it. Keep records of land permissions and police interactions. For boat dwellers, enforcement is usually led by navigational authorities such as the Canal and River Trust rather than the police. Police involvement typically arises only if situations escalate into alleged offences or public order issues. So the bottom line: you have a right to exist, to live freely, and to call your vehicle your home. The system doesn't like it, and the police will test you, but knowledge is power. Learn the law, stay mobile, and never, ever let them walk in unchallenged. So your van, caravan, boat or wagon doesn't suddenly become a legal free-for-all just because it isn't bricks and mortar house. But neither does calling it your home create an absolute barrier that the police can never cross. If you're trying to live differently, this isn't just about keeping old Bill outside your door. It's about knowing what powers they actually have, asking what power they're using, and understanding where the limits are before discovering them the hard way. In the next video, we'll look at what happens when things go a stage further. What to do if arrested.